Ronnie Bo has been reported shot, guys. Yes, you heard it.
I was one of the ones that was more so close to him, so, he opened up.
He felt like Jay-Z was kind of insecure because R. Kelly at the time was technically bigger than him.
The circumstances surrounding the shooting of Ronnie Bo, R. Kelly's cellmate, after he revealed Jay-Z, seemed to have finally come to light. The person who provided this, along with his time spent in jail, his interactions with his cellmate, and a startling occurrence that exposed a previously unknown aspect of Jay-Z, is allegedly R. Kelly. So what specifically transpired to Bo? Young wannabe novelist Ronnie Bo visited the institution in June 2019 in search of literary inspiration. The prominent musician, R. Kelly joined sometime between September and October of the same year, drawing attention to his participation because of the seriousness of the accusations made against him. Ronnie and R. Kelly spent 2 years living in the same prison, even though they weren't true cellmates. R. Kelly was the first person Ronnie had his eyes on. You won't believe this, but he believed he could enter Kelly's mind and hear all the details of his version of events. Yeah, Ronnie was out there defending R. Kelly and declaring vehemently that the accusations against him were untrue. He even considered himself Kelly's defender and pushed for Kusher to be put behind bars. R. Kelly, though, wasn't convinced. Is it fair to blame him? He has been burned more times than a marshmallow on a bonfire. However, Ronnie was like a hound with a bone and was adamant about gaining Kelly's confidence. And the extent he went to will astound you. He even got a few devoted prisoners to attest to his trustworthiness. Speaking about experimenting with flames, it turns out that move completely backfired on him since many believed he was trying to pressure Kelly into paying up. The impossible was accomplished by Ronnie despite the monumental failures. Behind jail, he and Kelly developed a friendship. Yes, you heard correctly. They had a heart-to-heart, exchanged their darkest secrets, and get this, Kelly revealed all of his connections in the industry, as if in a backstage confessional. But now for the surprise. Those bizarre tales and startling insights were covertly inserted by Ronnie into his own book, Grind Now, Shine Later. Additionally, R. Kelly's stay behind bars wasn't solely a result of legal disputes. No, he had what amounted to his own private therapy session. Ronnie claims Kelly became all philosophical while she was imprisoned, dispensing advice on rivalry in the music business and spilling the beans on that historic Jay-Z collaboration. In the early to mid-2000s, the duo collaborated on 2 albums, The Best of Both Worlds in 2002 and its follow-up, Unfinished Business, in 2004.
Everybody knew that Jay-Z and R. Kelly, was doing business at that time with the Best of Both Worlds tour and the Best of Both Worlds album.
Despite promising beginnings, their relationship soured on a tour they headlined together that deteriorated into anarchy. R. Kelly began to feel frightened by a few people in the crowd. His nervousness increased as he noticed suspicious conduct among several audience members, having already received threats before to the performance. The situation became tense, and R. Kelly started to worry urgently about his safety. Despite his efforts to warn the security staff, their response to his worries was regrettably uneasy and unsupportive. Before leaving the stage, he took a moment to apologize to the crowd for having to leave it so quickly. As if that weren't enough, T-Rum Ty Smith, a close friend of Jay-Z, pepper-sprayed him as he made his way back to the stage. Their turbulent relationship began to come to an end with this occurrence. The disappointment and annoyance, on the other hand, were palpable, both for R. Kelly and his fans, who were looking forward to the performance. The incident is more startling because R. Kelly thinks Jay-Z was involved in the threats made against him. Although the reasons behind Jay-Z's actions are still unknown, he believed that they were attempts to harm him while he was on tour. The 2 musicians became estranged as a result of this unanticipated development, with Jay-Z allegedly expressing resentment over R. Kelly's abrupt departure. Following the tour's demise, legal disputes developed. R. Kelly sued his former tourmate for breach of contract and sought a whopping $75 million in damages. This case gave a glimpse into the underlying difficulties between the 2 artists as well as their worsening business relationships. That Ronnie Bo's disclosure added still another dimension to this already complex story of treachery and rivalry wasn't a surprise. Although Bo's depiction of Kelly's conviction that Jay-Z masterminded a scheme to take his life may sound improbable, it provides a window into the psychological drama that can develop within the music business. An outsider may have unjustified suspicions because of the business's competitive character, individual egos, and old grudges. Kelly's interpretation of Jay-Z's motivation, which may have been influenced by a perceived balance of power between the two artists at the time, illuminates the weaknesses and insecurities that even popular musicians can experience. Meanwhile, fans have commented on this, with one particular fan claiming, "Anyone that knows the story of when the world tour went wrong in R. Kelly sued Jay-Z for $75 million, and all of a sudden the lady producing surviving R. Kelly documentary being well connected to Jay-Z. It wouldn't surprise me if there's some truth to this story. Not saying R. Kelly is innocent or a saint himself, but Jay-Z is known for trying to destroy other artists' careers, especially those he saw as a competitive threat, whether they're rappers or R&B singers. And believe me, R. Kelly was way bigger back then than Jay. In terms of popularity and impact, Kelly is still bigger in terms of impact even till today, but not so much popularity anymore because his crazy ish he's been doing. A second fan gave their perspective. "I believe that Abu Jay-Z was jealous of R. I went to that Best of Both Worlds tour in Cleveland, Ohio that year, and Jay-Z came out on stage and did all right. But Jay-Z was trash talking about, can't nobody rap like him. He the best, he this, he that. Until Kells came back out on stage with no music and gave the longest ass rap I ever heard without stopping, inhaling, coughing, or anything. And the whole entire building stood up and clapped. I remember that standing ovation being so loud I felt that vibration all in my chest. Jay-Z didn't come back out after that. Kells closed the show. I think both guys had egos, but I believe Jay-Z did feel some type of way because Kells was getting the most attention on tour. In any event, Kelly seems to be struggling with more than just these accusations right now. Let's now turn our attention to the financial crisis that has overtaken R. Kelly's business enterprise. A new chapter in Kelly's legal problems is revealed via court filings. His record labels have been served with a writ of continuous garnishment by Brooklyn, New York, prosecutors. The purpose of this legal action is to obtain the funds due as part of a judgment against Kelly. The outstanding balance on the judgment as of June 1, 2023 is the astonishing amount of $504,289, including interest. The record label that has been crucial to R. Kelly's career, Sony Music Entertainment, is one of the key actors in this financial battle. The court's decision to issue a writ of continuous garnishment against Sony highlights the valiant efforts being made to obtain the money owed to Kelly's victims. Unexpected developments in the legal dispute have dragged music firms into a scandal and unpaid debt quagmire. It's interesting to note that another courtroom bombshell has surfaced in the middle of R. Kelly's financial collapse. The Illinois Supreme Court gave Heather Williams, one of Kelly's victims of sexual assault, access to his label fund back in March. The money's estimated 2020 worth was $1.5 million. By taking this legal action, Williams was able to collect some of the money before Midwest Commercial Funding, another creditor who was owed money for delinquent rent on a Chicago studio, could seize it. Kelly's financial difficulties have become more complicated as a result of the legal maneuvering, which has exposed the complex web of claims and counterclaims that have ensnared his asset. Williams' legal triumph exemplifies the court system's efforts to compensate the alleged victims of R. Kelly's crimes. His victims are searching for monetary restitution as well as a feeling of justice as the disgraced singer's business comes tumbling down. Legal conflicts, money problems, and accusations of criminal conduct are all entwined in a gripping story that has the public's attention. Whatever the case, the world of music frequently provides the setting for compelling stories that go beyond the melodies and rhythms we hear. R. Kelly's allegations that Jay-Z allegedly tried to have him silenced add a stunning twist to an already complicated story of competition and betrayal. The lives of these two artists continue to be entwined in surprising and intriguing ways even as the legal disputes develop and financial difficulties worsen. Whether these accusations are true or are simply the result of a disturbed mind, they add to the mythical aura that surrounds the music business and its celebrities. Thanks for watching our video. Make sure to subscribe our channel for more celeb videos. Don't forget to like and comment. Also share it with friends and family.